Hey, what's up? My name's Drew, and this is my second video about converting a Redemptor Dread, making it a looted one. And I said in my last video that I didn't really think I got the battle damage and stuff on this guy right. You know, he looks like a dreadnought with a bunch of orc stuff glued onto him, which is what it is. Right? It needs to have some battle damage, and it needs more DACA. Alright, and when you add more DACA, you gotta ask yourself, does this fit the data sheet? And the answer is, who gives a shit? So my plan here is I'm gonna add this gun. I want that focus. All right, this guy is going to replace this Gatling here. And then on the other big one, going to add a couple things, like maybe the snaz gun on the right side, or whatever the hell this thing is called. On the right side, add a storm bolter on top. This gun here from the Catafront Breacher set, which I bought to make some killer cans. And maybe even one of these Shuriken cannon things from the Dark Eldar. Talos. That is going to be a dreadnought. So yeah, stay tuned for those videos. Also, I did get a comment, one of the very few I got, that it should look more like a claw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to file these head horn things off of whatever these Tyranid monsters are. File those off, sand this guy down here. Come on, focus, right. Sand this, what the fuck? Sand this down a little bit, and then put that on there so I'll have a second level claw to him. So that's my more DACA. Might replace some of these storm bolters with some of these little rockets or this melta gun. Yeah. And then the battle damage. So the thing with battle damage is it's got destroyed as an ultramarine, and then it's got damage again as a orc thing. So what I'm going to do is think about a lot of close combat weapon type damage here on the legs, because that's where we're going to be fighting. Put some big gashes here, like it got caught with a Brutalis. A couple panels and some bullet holes, right? Like if you've ever fired an automatic weapon, you know it kicks upward. So especially with something like an orc, after the first like 2 shots, it's wildly inaccurate. So I'll put some little like shoota holes up along here, and they don't make clean puncture holes. I'm going to use a drill for that to make a, you know, this is a little thing bouncing off Redemptor Dread armor. I'm going to make little holes and scratch them a little bit. They're not going to be clean puncture wounds. On the back, I'm probably going to put something a little bigger, like it's been shot at by Space Marines, and they're using disabling fire that's a little more precise. So we'll put a couple like holes here, and probably a couple holes here, like they're targeting certain areas to try and disable the dread. That's one of my plans. Also a bunch of scratches, a bunch of panels that I'm glued on, and then finally I'm going to put on a couple trophies on the top. And the key is for trophies is not making it symmetrical. So I'll put like a Tyranid head over here, a couple helmets. But it's going to be like random because, you know, these are orcs. They don't care about aesthetics and stuff like that. And I'm going to use the method for the panels and the I'm going to use for the panels and the trophies. I'm going to clip off one of these sewing pins that has like a flat head on the end and glue it in so it looks like it's been nailed in. I know a lot of people use beads, but I'm not going to buy like 10,000 beads for 3 projects. All right, so that's my plan, and I'm going to make a couple videos or a couple clips of me working and see how it turns out. All right, so here's what I did. This is for his right arm. So I glued on, I'll just start from this side, the Shuriken cannon from the Drukhari Talos, and I added a little ambot head nailed on there as a trophy because there's a big hole in the top of the Shuriken cannon. I also added these chains down here, and I added a storm bolter up top, and this Mechanicus gun on the side. Why is the fucking focus? All right. And the point of this is to make it look off kilter. They're purposefully a little off because it's orcs, right? There, and I wrapped some hobby chain around it, like it's all just tied on there. This part's glued, but the last little bit's just going to dangle. I think that'll look cool once I get it all painted up. And I've added a bunch of bullet holes, a lot of chips here. I don't want to do too much because like less is more, but at the same time, this has to look like it's been looted. So it really has to have some damage to it. Still got some mold lines in this thing. It's like every time I look, there's a new one. Anyways, that's what I got going on. I unfortunately don't have a pro setup that I can actually like show you when I'm working. All you're going to see is my hands. So that's why I'm doing this piecemeal. All right, and then here's the other arm, the left arm. So I cut off the little Gatling gun, put this other gun from the Luda kit inside it. I had to super glue it instead of pinning it because there's a hole in the Gatling gun thing. So I had to super glue that. And while it's drying, that's why I'm not doing too much more. Then I added these Tyranid horns here to the claw, and I really like how this came out now. this thing looks bamf, right? And this thing is going to tear you up. I'm going to have to add a little green stuff in there to make the connection better and to make it look a little more like natural. But yeah, right now, really happy with the way this arm turned out. You do not want to be caught by this guy. All right, and here he is finished. So, put some battle damage on them. I added a couple panels to try and make it look a little more ramshackle. I didn't like the storm bolters, the way they were trying to work out. I couldn't make them look looted, so I just put some clear plastic. It'll cover up when it's painted. And trust me, I'm not going to film that. It's not worth showing off. All right, trophies on the top. I didn't put a whole lot of battle damage up top just because you're not really going to get a whole lot of damage up there. Stuff that's either from above or like artillery is going to be firing on them there. I got the guns. I like how that worked out with the chain, looking a little ramshackle. And I even filed off here on the side to make it look like a last cannon or something. I tried to get the continuity to kind of really sell that effect. And focus on my finger, not the thingy here. I didn't do the bullet holes in the back like I talked about. I just don't really feel like it. I may get around to it later. And then this claw, this is based on one of the comments. One of the only comments I got was make that fist more look like a power claw. This is really the reason I'm doing this stuff, is hear some comments and get some ideas. Maybe hear some inspire you guys. I'm not going to make any money off this stuff. But I do like, the people who watched my first video that got like 200 something views. Normally my stuff gets like 3 views. So, yeah, that was pretty cool. Hope you guys like this one. I may add some more rivets when the super glue dries, but I'm not going to bother filming that. Alright, that's all I got. Just also, yeah, if you ever do these pins and you clip off the heads to make them look like nails, like I'm doing here up top, make sure you're covering your eyes, or you're holding both sides of those things. Because when they fly, they can bounce and you can easily lose an eye or something. So I don't want to be responsible for anyone doing that. Alright, have a good one.